Hello, my name is Dina Bailey, and I'm the CEO of Mountaintop Vision. As a consultant, I have been working with the California Association of Museums to develop CAM's Equity Action Plan. Getting started can be overwhelming. Many people recognize the systems of oppression and exclusion exist, and they are philosophically committed to change. But putting those convictions into practice can feel scary and frustrating and full of traps. For some, the risks seem very high and the rewards seem very uncertain. That is why the CAM Equity Advisory Committee has developed a series of 5 videos. They are meant to focus on the how of getting started with the process of developing an equity action plan. In this video, video number 3, we will be focusing on what to do with the feedback you receive from your focus groups. Number 1, there will be a lot of information that comes out of these focus groups. It can be very overwhelming. So you need to think about who will see the information and how it will be analyzed and then disseminated. Remember your confidentiality agreements with participants, whatever those agreements were. Make sure that you aren't sharing information more broadly or more deeply than you promised. As you consider the information, consider having someone go through to ensure that individual participants can't be identified. That might mean editing an example to make it a little more general, or removing an individual's name, age, affiliation, etc. Number 2, as you think about analyzing the data, return to your major goals and the questions that were asked and pull out both themes and outliers. Some folks use different colors to code for themes. Others may make certain words, phrases, or sentences bold. Others may cut and paste into a clean document the information that seems essential. Others may read sections and then summarize them. Whatever you do, consider how to keep the integrity of the information you are receiving. And don't just look at the positives or every time that people seem to be in consensus. It's also important to make note when thoughts are on a spectrum and or when there seem to be outlying thoughts. In your analysis, you might also collect your data in such a way that you can analyze information based on gender, age, years of work experience, etc., to see if certain identities strongly lean in one way or another. Number 3, as you continue your analysis, you also want to make note if there are clearly gaps, leanings, or biases based on the participants themselves. For example, you might have specifically wanted to hear from people of color. Their concerns may clearly lean in particular directions, and you may find that you are missing other voices as a result. This is fine, depending on your needs, but you may find that you need to be clear about that in the summary of your analysis, and or that might mean that you need to gain data from another identity group or a racially diverse group to compare against. Number 4, as you summarize your data and then disseminate the information, it is important that you spend some time on your own biases. Have multiple people read the data so that more than one perspective is represented in the analysis. Recognize and name what identities you hold. For example, your years in the field or positional power or gender that might influence your interpretation of the feedback from focus group participants. And if you have committed to being transparent, consider how to acknowledge those aspects of your own bias in your summary. As you finalize your summary, make sure that you are looping your participants back in. They provided you with the information, so you should also let them know what folks said, what you learned, and what the next phase may look like. Number 5, There will likely be some feedback that doesn't seem relevant. It is still important to capture and acknowledge. It may be important in the future when you have learned more and are thinking about your equity plan from a different vantage point. Keep in mind that your focus groups are basically a snapshot. Answers might shift with time, social, political context, if the participant or the facilitator is having a bad day, etc. Don't let that be an excuse to disregard or deem the information irrelevant. Specific examples may change, but often underlying strengths, challenges, and opportunities continue. All right, before we get into those reflection questions, let me go ahead and remind you of our top 5 tips. 1, there will be a lot of information that comes out of these focus groups. 2, pull out themes and outliers. 3, make note if there are clear gaps, leanings, or biases based on the participants themselves. Spend time on your own biases and capture and acknowledge as much feedback as you can, even if it doesn't seem relevant in the moment. All right, your reflection questions for video number 3. What are the underlying themes that might not have been directly commented on, but are referenced or implied? What next questions come up based on the feedback? Do you need more information or nuance about particular feedback? Is that information or nuance essential to get before you can move forward? What resonated for you? What didn't resonate? What is behind why you feel the way that you do? Do you have concrete aspects that you can focus on immediately, in the near future, and down the road? What do measures of success look like for those concrete aspects? And if it doesn't seem like the feedback provided clarity, why not? Remember, never a failure, always a lesson. All right, for more information about CAM's racial equity statement, I've provided you a link on the screen. For more information about CAM's equity action plan, I've also provided a link there. For more information about CAM, please visit www.calmuseums.org. And for more information about Mountaintop Vision, please go to www.mountaintopvisionllc.com. All right, best wishes on your journey, everyone.